Acid-base titration is a laboratory technique used to determine the concentration of an acid or base by reacting it with a strong acid or base of known concentration. The process involves preparation, titration, endpoint detection, calculation. In preparation, a strong acid, example hydrochloric acid, or base, example sodium hydroxide of known concentration is prepared as the titrant. Titration. The titrant is slowly added to the acid or base of unknown concentration while stirring. Endpoint detection. The reaction is monitored for a color change, pH change, or other indicator of the equivalence point. Calculation. The concentration of the analyte is calculated based on the volume and the concentration of the titrant used. Types of acid-base titrations. Strong acid versus strong base titration. Involves a strong acid and a strong base. Strong acid is HCl, example, and strong base is NaOH. Weak acid strong base titration involves a weak acid, example acetic acid, and a strong base, example sodium hydroxide. Next one, strong acid weak base titration involves a strong acid HCl and a weak base, example ammonia. Complexometric titration. Complexometric titration is a type of titration where a metal ion is reacted with a complexing agent to form a stable complex. The reaction is used to determine the concentration of the metal ion. Steps: preparation, titration, endpoint detection, calculation. In preparation, a solution of the metal ion is prepared. Second step, titration. A complexing agent, example EDTA, EGTA, is slowly added to the metal ion solution while stirring. Endpoint detection. The reaction is monitored for a color change, pH change, or other indicator of the equivalence point. Calculation. The concentration of the metal ion is calculated based on the volume and concentration of the complexing agent used. Types of complexometric titrations: direct titration, back titration, indirect titration. In direct titration, the metal ion is directly titrated with the complexing agent. In back titration, excess complexing agent is added to the metal ion solution and then the excess is titrated with a second metal ion. Indirect titration. The metal ion is reacted with a second metal ion and the excess is titrated with the complexing agent. Common complexing agents: EDTA, EGTA, cyanide, thioacetamide. Precipitation titration. Precipitation titration is a type of titration where the reaction between the analyte and the titrant results in the formation of a precipitate. The endpoint is determined by the appearance or disappearance of the precipitate. Types of precipitation titrations: argentometric titration, mercurymetric titration, sulfide titration. In argentometric titration, silver nitrate is used as the titrant to determine halides. Mercurymetric titration. Mercury 2 nitrate is used as the titrant to determine halides and sulfide ions. Sulfide titration. Zinc acetate is used as the titrant to determine sulfide ions. Steps involved precipitation titration. Preparation, titration, endpoint detection, calculation. In preparation, a solution of the analyte is prepared. In titration, the titrant is slowly added to the analyte solution while stirring. In endpoint detection, the appearance or disappearance of the precipitate is monitored. In calculation, the concentration of the analyte is calculated based on the volume and concentration of the titrant used. Indicators used in precipitation titration. Potassium chromate, dithizone. Potassium chromate used as an indicator for argentometric titrations. Dithizone used as an indicator for mercurymetric titrations.